course, could still see the poke of Varus from Starry, but Renata, the W is an attack speed steroid. Usually when we see this, it's paired up with on-hit Varus, and if that's the case, OMG, it's all about the scaling. Anything up to try and make sure these grubs go their way. Of course, once Harry gets back into lane on this Ambessa, will have a little bit of an edge against Gwen, as of course, Shanji no flash and was just pushed out behind on XP a little bit. Actually, it looks like they're going to pull off the swap, though. So they're going to send their bot lane top. They're going to use that to try and contest the grubs, whereas a good response here from NIP. Bot lane.
He's lonesome up here, at least for now, with Hung currently on his way towards the Rapids.
I mean, if he can get two.
Bloom going to catch him out.
Oh, yeah, Hung actually not going to approach. So, well, good swaps here from NIP. Really like how they put their bot lane mid. Had a chance to respond to wherever the bot lane at OMG showed up. And, yeah, they're going to switch things up even further. Send the bot lane top. Put Gwen into the Corki. Yeah, another swap coming in too. Joinby going to sack a few creeps mid, which crash. Was both him and Shanji were helping out. But Shanji going to press R. Harry now in trouble.
Needlework comes
Good
out.
job.
Public Execution not going to connect. Going to be matched up with that cease and desist. Harry going to fall in its first blood over towards Shanji.
And left in the bot side. Doesn't have any TP to respond to an initial play. So NIP looking to maybe tickle and drag OMG around here a bit. See if Aki finishes this recall, though. He already snagged one. That could be it.
One.
Yeah,
They're calling it. That's all you needed. It gets
it's
you
Drake time.
The void
yeah.
Mice, and that was definitely a timer that OMG had control over on that top side. So very nicely done.
F3 was shoved in. That does, because of this, it does give OMG actually an okay window. At least think about this dragon. But NIP, they could fight again. They're pretty strong here. Wherever Vi goes, Galio's going to follow.
Yeah, immediately going to have PP
pop
that ultimate, but he's still about half HP. Can look to potentially go in onto Starry. Instead finds the headbutt only onto Hung and actually pushes him away over the wall. Here comes Stormby as well with that hero's entrance, and it will allow for NIP to pick up that first kill. Aki flashes after Hung. It's a third kill picked up in this game as Leave snipes him down with the fourth shot and opens up the curtain call for Moham. The third shot will connect. Will the fourth? Yes, sir! That's another kill, and it's 4, his favorite number, over to NIP.
You were able to respond to everything.
And that's what the power of this composition possesses, right? Once you get to this mid game, you send PP God in with the Unbreakable Will, you throw Aki in there as well, and by the way, there comes a Galio on top of you with that hero's entrance. It knocked up Starry, basically bursted him down 100-0.
Like game cat mouse was seeing there, but unfortunately for OMG, still very far behind thanks to the first couple plays we saw from NIP, and they don't want to slow down Aki.
Wow, yeah, here comes that Vi Galio once again, knocking up Linfunk. He's underneath between his two turrets, and it doesn't matter. He's still going to go down. Makes it the 5th kill in a row for NIP.
Justice Punch hit. Quick from NIP, as they're able to clean up and avoid the dive of the bot lane. Props to PP God, who did base to threaten any potential dive that might come down from OMG. So
picking up this Rift Herald up towards the top side, while Hung and OMG will get themselves that dragon most likely. I mean, the thing is here for OMG, though, still a late game focused composition for them, but they need to hold the line for quite a while at this point. But getting a Drake like this is a certain one.
Yeah, it feels like a consolation prize, though. I like the Rift take this game from NIP. It's not just the fact they have 5 grubs. I just think a Rift really goes up in value. You feel like they have to keep this game moving and make sure they stay on schedule, because the scaling of a Varus Corki can be scary.
Well, dive onto Moham could definitely help that as another hero's entrance comes through. That is Moham going down before he can even proc the bailout. Just so much crowd control locked onto that Renata Glass.
They have been executing it. They've been chaining their CC, which is like really, you know, the point of skill expression that is real with this combo. I think they've been doing a really nice job of it between Aki and Doinby. And
you can almost ultimate bravery on this guy, and it will work most of the time. As we see now this dragon being started up by NIP. Hung trying to prove a stop to it as it actually gets sent back out at 4,000 HP with Aki over the pit. Poke coming out here nicely from OMG. See if they want to fully commit. It looks like PP God going to be the one to start it. A 3-man pull onto OMG. The hero's entrance going to force Linfung to flash away, but nope, so far no kills locked down just yet, and Shanji's very low, and that's a shutdown picked up towards Starry. Linfung gets taunted up, but won't have enough damage followed up by NIP. Now Leave could suddenly be in a precarious spot. Hung flashes in onto PP God, who no longer has his ultimate, and it will be just 1 kill going over towards OMG, but they could be looking for more. Teleport comes in. Going to be Linfung rejoining the party at full HP. He does a lot of damage under his belt. PP God does not go down just yet, and Leave actually takes down Moham. But here comes the Valk. Can Linfeng do it? Can he do enough in this fight? He gets shut down as Aki just dies right on top of him. Leave is still alive. He flashes underneath his own turret. This is a double kill already for the Jin. Harry!
Oh.
Harry will fall! It's a triple kill for Leave as he saves the fight for an IP.
So no bailout available for Linfeng or anyone else on OMG. NIP win the fight. Gonna take this Otacon, get the GA buffs, and continue the cruise in this game.
And I feel like that was the breaking point in this game.
Yeah.
That was where
I did
NIP
too.
maybe had a little bit of an opening there for OMG to take advantage of. I mean, gave away a kill early. A teleport came in from Linfeng.
It was a good start.
At those 2 items, I mean, it looked good, but it was the playmaking from Aki as they started this Baron up with the GAs in hand.
For sure, a bit of a bummer to see Linfeng TP in and then Valk into a TP God combo like that. Anyway, Baron almost being taken. Hong.
Looks like Hong gonna try to get in there. It got to 48 HP. Almost a steal for the OMG jungler. But Aki just has those diamond hands. He held strong, and he smites away that Baron Nashor. Here comes Doinby, lands a 3-man taunt. Starry has the stopwatch and will go golden, but he suddenly finds himself in the midst of 4 members of Ninjas in Pajamas. It's another 4 kills picked up for them, as they are looking to close this game out sooner rather than later, Cubby.
I just went straight to Baron after the reset, after Chemtech, and again, OMG, they're behind. They can't fight. That angle from Doinby on the back half to find the hero's entrance, and that angle to wrap up the fight. Pretty resounding win from NIP.
Some opportunities maybe for OMG to take advantage of, but they just fell short every single time. NIP playing the margins and winning outright. They get that mid lane inhibitor with that Baron buff, should be able to turn their attention towards the top side. Not an end angle just yet, as the death timers are still very low, but you have to feel like OMG already starting to go back to the drawing board here for game 2, as now Moham gets taunted up here by Doinby. Shanji throws out the first part of the ultimate. It's going to be up in 3 seconds. Can the poke from OMG be enough? Aki dashes back in, not able to find a target. Curtain Call going to be forcing OMG back as they will claim that second inhibitor in the top lane. Teleport coming in from Doinby to make it 4 members on this bottom side.
Yeah, unfortunately for Linfeng, again, this matchup, you are able to farm up and scale, but caught out by Divine Galio once in the side lane, and then I think played the last 2 fights pretty poorly. The Valk into the combo from Alistar is kind of a death sentence there for OMG in that last fight. Now getting caught as we have the engage. PP God.
Looks like Harry's going to be the primary target. Again, the ultimate doesn't connect, and so Leave will be able to pick up yet another kill for himself. Shanji dashing forward very aggressively, knowing that it's very hard to take down a level 16 Gwen who has that ultimate and the flash. Starry already plans to flash underneath his own Nexus turret, but it won't be him living for long. Linfeng picks up 1, but they're underneath the Nexus turrets right now. Doinby goes golden as well. Looks like right now, NIP might be playing with their food a little bit. Hung dashing in to try to pick up something, but the rest of his team is headed right back to the fountain, where they will remain for the end of this game. Ninjas in Pajamas, a dominant start here for Group C, and they will run away with this one in 29 minutes. Good amount of poke here from FPX as well. You have the Ezreal, the Corki, even the Jace throwing out those accelerated shock blasts. And Leona and Maokai can both engage from very far range with their ultimates, right? Hold on to the Rift. We'll see if they learn from their oysters here in this first game of Split 2 for them. A little aggressive opening here right now, as that's a Braum already having that concussive blows onto Jue. Still has his flash, really uses the Aftershock finally. Not going to do too much to defend him.
Top Esports at least going to use this, continue to throw their weight around early. Maybe looking at the grubs, but I got to say, FPX got 2. That's pretty big.
Yeah, because Kanavi tried to go for that play onto Sheer and didn't end up having that work out for them. So even though Top Esports were first to top lane play, and with the bot lane that has been continuously taking advantage of a Simmons way.
Throwing Varus mid and kind of insta-winning that lane gives you the opportunity to move first to a lot of plays, including potential grubs, as Jaculov making his way back in here.
Yeah, Shadow can pick up 1. That would be really big. Try to even up that count at 3, but instead it's going to be a full engage, actually, with that ultimate from Shadow. Jue already forced to flash away. There's a 3-man Fate Seal from Cream, but he gets knocked back, not able to finish off anybody on FPX, and Top Esports are forced to run for the hills. 369s at only 300 HP. Care Valks forward, force the Kanavi to flash away, use the Blast Cone defensively. That'll absolutely lock up that grub for FPX. They prevent any of those feats of strength from going over, and they keep themselves alive in this game, Cubby. All of the engage tools from FPX first before they can follow up with the tools of their own. That's just the way that their composition currently functions. But right now, they're going to be able to at least pick up the second dragon and get some control in that department.
But hey, at least they're showing they learned something from it, Grapes, you know? Improvement.
And let's see, they're going to find something here onto Care, just a little bit too far forward. The flash not successful either. That is first blood picked up for Top Esports as they finally get themselves on the board.
Just going to be able to pick this one up, so that should be first brick, and that feat secured from Top Esports, putting them quite close to feats in general. Go up against Poke Varus, because those waves get deleted. That said, Shadow, of course, going for the Andres Maokai build, being the magic damage on his team. The saplings do hurt. Maokai does a lot of damage with this build, this FPX. See if they look for a fight, but that's a big piercing arrow coming out of Jacula. Ult casted.
Nature's Grasp, in comes Shadow, he steals away the Rift Herald. Now what can the fight look like on the other side? Unstoppable Onslaught comes through, 369 will take down Jue. Cream will go down though, and here comes Sheer, he flashes to the wall. He picks himself up a double kill, and Jacula is potentially caught out. He flashes into the red buff pit, but Shadow is looking to close the distance, and it's a snipe from Assume to claim the feats of warfare, the Rift Herald, and the fight win for FPX.
Okay, now things get pretty interesting because that Rift Herald steal, the insta drop, that's going to be the outer that falls. And a Goldie now goes over to FPX at a comp where, again, they heavily outscale Top Esports in this game. So FPX taking a few steps to really set themselves up for success. And for me, the big difference maker in that one, it was Sheer being able to go over the wall and clean up the low health bars that Top Esports had.
Nice ultimate. That's all the main engage tools that Top Esports had, and he was able to clean up the rest of that fight as well. I know it was a tough early game for him, but able to turn things around and allow for FPX to get back into this game just a little bit.
Is going to be coming in here pretty soon for FPX. Shadow might have to walk his way out of this one.
And there comes the ultimate as well from Crisp. Looks like Shadow not going to live through this one as the tank squad comes through for Top Esports and get themselves right back into an even playing state. Now 3 kills to 3 overall.
Is Cream going to have to ult out and Jue?
Solar Flare comes out, Cream to dodge it, and flash away from the True Shot Barrage, but it looks like the FPX want to keep going for this one, and this could be a bit of an overextension as the rest of Top Esports are able to collapse. Cream picks up the kill, Sheer will go down, and it's a 4v5 for the next 40 seconds on the map.
See if the Ezreal Corki can actually get through this really beefy front line that Top Esports has in the Scion Sejuani, because that is one thing. Like, you don't want to really build pen on Corki.
The Shadow has that ultimate blocked out by Crisp. Now comes the re-engage. Here comes 369. He's going to land the ultimate only onto the Maokai, but a 2-man decimating smash is all that Top Esports need to get this fight off on the right foot. Care has to Valk over the wall into the Raptor pit, and Top Esports should have control of this dragon now in a 4v5.
I know we talked about the scaling here for FPX, but that Scion, this fight, the first fight that we saw, top drop, that the Scion, you were able to get through it, actually kill it. Not that time around. That Scion was invincible. That is one thing about this this game. This Scion just went double armor items, lower damage, but really tanky, and that FPX being full damage and Care.
No flash. He might be in trouble here. Looks like the Soul Unbound going to go back.
Like, just the lack of damage that 369 took in the last fight, and that ult that he had was so good.
Oh, man. Jue just gets caught out, has the Aftershock, which keeps him alive for a long time, but he will finally go down to Kanavi. Now Assume in a bit of a bad spot, has to shift over the wall to prevent from that decimating smash from coming through. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Cream just 1v1's Care in the side lane, and that means Top Esports can fully go onto this team fight. Shadow will fall. Blast Cone forces Sheer and Assume back, but it is a 3-for-0 across multiple areas of the map for Top Esports, as they now can go towards either of these neutral objectives on the top side.
Yeah, I can only assume the all-in bot. Cream was able to land his Qs this time around against Care, who went down, and again, 369 just gets to walk wherever he pleases. These waves getting deleted by the Scion. He's able to collapse, help the team, and just refuse to get pushed out. As FPX relegated looking for turrets, and Sheer relegated to fighting this 1v2. He's going to have to run for the hills. A little bit trickier.
Looks like he's probably going to just try to buy as much time as possible, as the Baron has already gone over to Top Esports. Looks like he does a little bit of damage, but Cream will get the help from his support, and the Krispy Kreme duo will be able to take Sheer down.
I know Assume was able to get out of there, but I like the idea of 369 even flashing forward to try and keep on pursuing that. If it's not Infernal Rift and they don't have access to that Blast Cone, I think Chase is for sure on for Top Esports.
That could have been a really bad thing for Assume if he ended up getting caught by that Sejuani ultimate, but it looks like he will be okay. However, the damage has been done through this Baron going down. I mean, FPX were in a position where they were up in gold. They were maybe scaling a little bit, but now the gold deficit over 6K after that Baron.
It's Infernal Soul too, and you can see the kind of the head scratch of the FPX in, because Kare is working his way towards an LDR. And again, you got to imagine that Ezreal is Shojin at the moment. It has to be. Oh, hold on. Have a fight. 369.
Broke a little bit, but again, 369 just taking up so much damage on this front line. Shadow does a nice job with the Bramble Smash, but he's 3 levels down compared to 369, and he will drop very, very easily, and so will Assume. Here comes Cream as well. Fade Seal not going to connect onto Sheer, but the damage might have already been done. Kare is level 16, but does not have enough damage to survive this in a 2v4, I would assume. Here comes Jue to try to buy a little bit of space, but it's a 5v2 opening up on the map. The health bars are low, but low does not mean dead here on the map for top esports. Kare will barely survive, but he might just have to watch his base crumble in his own sights underneath his own fountain. The Nexus towers are under fire. Still 15 seconds on Shadow coming back to life. Kare will go down, and top esports come back with a vengeance here in the LPL and will win the game over FPX. I feel like FPX is a very easily identifiable win condition in their team comp, right? It's, you know, team fighting, 5v5, throw out those ultimates, have the wombo combos come out.
Might be able to get access to the respawn Raptors. Of course, this camp's quite big. Kare's low. Linfeng has not spotted Shadow, though.
Invis, but still gets popped out, actually, here by Shadow. The charm connects. Linfeng gets the flash away, but it's going to be followed up by Shadow. First blood going over to FPX, but it'll be traded right back as Hung was there to finish off that kill onto Kare. We want to get here. Moham.
Okay, never mind.
Here. Looks like instead they're going to go towards the
Waste of time.
So maybe a more even trade instead of trying to flip the game around this first dragon. It will be picked up easily by Shadow and FPX, while Hung's going to have enough prio to at least take a good chunk of it.
Yeah, a little bit of waste of time there from Hung, but still going to be able to clean up the objective in the end. Just going to be a little bit late.
On DK, and then now here on OMG. Looks like he wants to try to write that narrative here. He tries to find another engage off of a flank. Still has the Unbreakable available, so FPX don't want to continue that chase. However, OMG already picked up the first 3 Void Grubs, and FPX wants to make sure they don't make it a 6-for-0. So instead, they find the Vi engage onto Starry, flash over the wall for Shadow to try to lock down Linfeng instead, but Shadow just gets one shot. But look at the Gnar ultimate coming out from Sheer off of the teleport and finds 3. And right now, FPX having the numbers advantage. Moham will drop, and now Harry is the target with the World Hender soon to expire. It'll be Assume to pick up that kill as 4 go the way of Fun plus Phoenix.
I gotta say, when Shadow pressed R, I wasn't sure about that angle from FPX. There was no ult yet on Jue, but Sheer made it work with that TP, the Mega Gnar. Great entrance to the fight from him, got access to the backline immediately, and really made sure that fight went heavily in FPX's favor. Make sure that he fell for free as well. That said, back half of the play, we're back out onto the Rift with potential action. As Jue gets canceled, and OMG really trying to defend this Dragon take. They will get it for themselves.
Looks like Jue getting canceled there, getting chunked out a little bit means that...
and he did kill most of the wave. Not super worth it. Oh, we have a look on Starry.
Oh, Vi ultimate on top of the bullet time as well. Nice engage from Jue. Starry chunked very low, but Hung doing a lot of damage as well with the Crescent Guard. Will pick up the kill onto Shadow to make it a 1-for-1. Moham and Harry now maybe looking for a re-engage. No flash on Assume. Like
no girl left behind.
Normally all 6 get taken. So it would have been a weird world for him to have to just go back naturally here. As Assume getting caught out by Hung. Remember, no flash from that earlier play, and so Starry will be able to pick up the shutdown.
Would love to have for themselves, and looks to be the case with Assume still in the death chamber, but Shadow just getting a little bit frisky. Hung still has ult, so if they fully send it onto him, it doesn't mean it's free by any means. But
Sheer just hit Mega, but he's gonna have his teleport canceled.
They're down a man. Yeah,
that's a knockup that Harry was very easily able to execute on. Between Worlds comes out. Linfeng gonna try to poke FPX out a little bit. They still have the numbers advantage. Shadow dashed in, but is unable to pick up the steal of the Herald. Now gets hit up by the Chain of Corruption. It should be going down as it's Linfeng picking up the kill. Now, Hung continuing to dash forward. Pops the Crescent Guard to make sure that nothing will from range. Currently, they are still up in gold by a little bit, but I think we both agree that the OMG composition with the Aurora and with the Aatrox that can scale relatively nicely into the late game Whereas maybe the damage from the Ahri falls off a little bit more, as now OMG are the ones actually putting the pressure on. They take down that mid-tier 1, and now we're looking for a fight on the bottom side as well. It's Care picking up a tower top lane and assume mid, which means that there is no real damage on FPX's side down here in the bottom side.
For a bot dive, but 3 people were there from FPX, and it feels like they kind of used and wasted that turn because they were never responding to top, so having the TP to contest that just gives away the dragon for free to FPX, and we'll secure a Cloud Dragon. It's not bad.
I feel like it could have been, it's a situation where I feel like you could have gotten one or the other, right? You could either force that fight on the dragon early, or, you know, prevented Care from getting like almost the entirety of that tier 2, but they just, it was this OMG reacting just a little bit too slowly on a play like that, and it allows for FPX to keep themselves in this thing, get themselves another neutral objective. Shear's able to get another tower on the bot lane, so that is even more gold kind of funneled into FPX's pockets overall. Things looking pretty solid for them at this point of the game. Mohan, though, maybe finding another pick onto Zhui, cancels the grand entrance with the stun from the E, and will force the Rakan to flash over the wall.
And that's a big flash to take. TP coming in, though. Sheer halfway to Mega.
Okay, and here comes Shadow as well. He flashes for the
season
assist onto Starry, who has no more summoner spells, and Sheer will be able to pick him up before he even turns Mega. Now Mega will be able to only land the ultimate onto Mohan while Shadow dies on the wayside. Hung lands the knockup onto Sheer with a 3-talent strike. Bullet time will come out, but gets blocked very nicely by the Crescent card. But Harry's ultimate will time out rather quickly here. Assume still has this flash, and it'll use it to get over the wall and away from the realms of the Aatrox. And so it's just that one kill going over to FPX.
That's
a allocation of resources, especially if you can make a play here on the other side. Harry pops the ultimate, but still will get followed in by Shadow, and one more auto should take him down. That's a nice trade here in terms of a kill going towards FPX, but can they get out with their lives as Linfunk comes in with a teleport. Sheer down about 400 HP, but they will be able to escape with that tier 2 turret going down. Linfunk just gets secured very good on a lot of the champions in their competition here. You can buy the Ahri and even the Rakan, right? Like just getting a little bit of extra ability haste on those ultimates, getting the...
Could be big. Here comes the dive.
I'd be surprised if they're able to burst him down 100 to 0. It just at least forces Harry back. But it looks like the trade on the other side will be OMG starting up his Otacon because Shadow is on the opposite side of the map. It is a 4v3 on the map for now. Sheer is Minion, so even if he teleports to the fight, will not have his ultimate at the ready. But look at Care. Finds the charm into Linfunk, and already the Aurora is chunked down very low. Bullet time gets cancelled out by Assume, but the damage from FPX might just be enough. It's a double kill in, and the Otacon is secured by Sheer. The Gnar picks it up with an auto attack, but Harry now has popped the World Ender and will try to find a response. Shadow has finally arrived to the fight, and Fun plus Phoenix are going to run away with this team fight as they pick up the Otacon in a full ace.
He was so low, and I really like how FPX, they knew Otacon was being taken, but down numbers, criticized them early on for contesting an objective they should go FPX's way. So love the patience around the Otacon and that take from them, and now good play continues. They can push. They find Moham, and keep in mind their GA buff is still on, so they can really force the issue against OMG now, even up a member.
Look at Sheer in this game right now as well. 4 completed items, and Care finds another pick on a Hug.
We're going.
He forces the Crescent guard. Will be able to escape at least for now, but Harry now the target here for Fun plus Phoenix. Bullet time comes out. It's just onto the Aatrox, but hold on. The damage is pretty good coming out from OMG as well. Care trapped in the base and will get sent back by the revive. But it is 2 kills picked up.
They Cloud Soul, but could spawn for FPX. Really valuable for a lot of the champs they have. Cloud Soul always been swept on as Mininar going to work. Sheer
does so much damage on this Gnar, and he hasn't even procced Mega yet. Yes, now he has it, and uses the ultimate in onto Moham. Will at least just pick up that bottom lane inhibitor. Here comes Care. Oh, what a charm! Onto Linfung. The Aurora's not able to do anything here in this fight. That's a double kill picked up for the Ahri. Starry the next on the menu, and FPX just shut the damn door onto OMG. They pick up the ace. They will go towards the Nexus after they take down this mid lane inhibitor, and they should be able to close out this game and pick themselves up their first win of the LPL Split 2 group stage.
I mean, slow and steady game until it ended with a bang, and have to give a shout out to Sheer on this Gnar on the top side.
I don't know who really wins the later this game goes. I will tell you though, the more ability haste that Neferi gets into a squishy composition that NIP relatively has, she's gonna be even more oppressive. CC setup, and you need the enemy laners that you're ganking to be really far pushed up as early level 2 all in. Chris just knows that they're going for the damage on the Leave. Jackie Love steps up. Leave tries to trade one back, and the Ignite is going to take down Chris before Jackie Love can finish off Leave, and it's still not enough damage. And now Jackie Love, I mean, he's going to be forced to flash. Oh, he's going to trade it back. The cleanse on the stun baits Leave in, and at least it trades 1 for 1, but I think PP God is going to have enough damage to be able to take him out. But here comes Kanavi. PP God does finish him off. Flashes over the wall. What a hectic level 2 all in.
Like the big difference maker in that series was the bot lane play. So for leaving PP God to start with the kill is big, but meanwhile on top side.
Interesting that they had 369 take the turret first, since Kanavi, you can always just drop the turret aggro with W, but you know what? They got the kill, burned a couple of flashes out of it, top lane, and then trying to pick up the pieces on PP God when he was chasing Jackie Love. And Chris, Hex Flash, really wants to put the pain in onto Leave. Decent damage. Chris absorbs it really well. Last bullet takes a chunk out of Chris' health bar, but Jackie Love is just pouring in the auto attacks. Not doing enough to really force Leave out, as now Jackie Love is falling thanks to the Ignite from PP God. Might be forced to run away. Chris is blocking as much as he can. Jackie Love just one more auto attack. Gone. Down goes PP God, and enough. The double up passive. Nicely done by Jackie Love and Chris.
Kill got Jackie Love enough mana to get a double lift in, make sure they wrapped up this kill, and now they're ahead. They've rotated up. Goodbye, Shanji.
Yeah, he's not level 6 either, and no flash. That's an easy turret dive to extend, and Jackie Love is the one that picks up the kill credit. 4 kills for this misfortune.
Massive problem, because when MF gets this far ahead, if you get an early BT in the game, that's one of the most oppressive items you can open up with.
Yeah.
If you get economy like this, your ability to throw your weight around when no other items exist in the game, it's unlike anything else if you're an AD in this one. And here, if you are NIP, said Shanji gonna dip in the fog. They spot Kanavi.
Oh, flash W right on time, but there's the untargetable. Buys enough time. There is the Hound's Pursuit. Gets the one reset, looks for another one, flashes over the wall. And Kanavi on the Neferi. He's barking on him. Not necessarily a game over state. PP God is just going to lead the charge, and Cream, yeah, that's pretty hard to dodge out on if you don't have Flash. Shocked and impressed the world with over at the first stand tournament as Top Esports just really shift all their power onto the second rotation. There is a ward in that pit from the side of NIP, but because of the control ward, Top Esports blanket out the vision, no chance for a contest, and you've got 6 scrubs fully secured by Top Esports. This is going to be really nice for their split push situation now. Cream still down a flash, overextended on the top lane, thought he was safe because the rest of his team was going for the grubs, but he's got not that many camps to go for. We'll let the Raptors respawn.
You could send... Oh, okay, goodbye, PP God.
Yeah, PP God not feeling too big right now. Flaccid, for sure. Kanavi does take him down, as the rest of the Dragon should be going over to Top Esports. Shanji just getting marked and bullied by 369. Equalizer's going to deal decent damage. Maybe Kanavi. I think he still has the Hound's Pursuit to get in range for the second reset. Yep, there it is. Oh my god, I love this champion. Oh, it is a beautiful abomination, and it's probably going to get nerfed, but enjoying it for now, Matt.
The trades, the plays that we saw early on from Aki, it felt like neither grub was really contestable here for NIP, and now you just have to survive the onslaught of 6 grubs. When you give the best teams in the world 6 grubs, that does feel like a death sentence. And Rel doesn't like that one very much, and meanwhile 369 landed the smackdown still on Shanji. I say that, he was just smacked down by Shanji and Aki in live, but what Flavor gives you is quite nice if you are Neferi and you are Kanavi, as that camp just disappeared.
Well, he's able to dodge one of the abilities with the Eviscerate, and then Call of the Pack gives him the untargetability, which makes it so
strong.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they just have like a folder backstage. It's like, okay, what are some forbidden things that would just absolutely make this champion oppressive?
Line heal, untargetable, a global, and a forever scaling passive. Put him in the same champ.
Yeah.
The champ's not going to be strong at all.
Put them all on a dartboard, and then just, you know.
Cream going to threaten this corridor with any sort of rocks and flicks against NIP. They're wrapping up the siege on the mid-outer. Going to throw the ult out, Leave.
Yep.
Sidestep.
Wall separates Leave from the rest of his teammates. He's forced to flash over. A bullet time from Jackie Love. That's your finals first split MVP right there. Completely eviscerating NIP. Shanji comes in just to die. You're not going to get that much done when Top Esports are rocking this kind of gold lead and smacking you with the thicker wallets. Top Esports, again.
This game, the untargetable from Kanavi, yet again coming up massive there, was able to get out of
group. Hopefully resolve a lot of doubts that any of us, maybe on the desk, might have had going into the first day of group stage for these guys. As 369 forced to flash away. Curtain call from Leave. Oh, this is a really nice flank angle from Shanji. Does he have the damage, though? Finds Jackie Love alongside PP God. Good snipe from Leave. Finds Jackie Love on the backside, but 369 comes in with the Flame Spitter. Burns down PP God, looking for Shanji next. And the rest of Top Esports did away with the reinforcements that NIP had to offer. And unfortunately for Jackie Love, got focused again. What else is new? But Top Esports still win the fight regardless. Fatality, one-shotting a person and then just trading the life for it as Doinb under fire. Using the slipperiness of the Aurora. Might have gotten a little too close, though. Rebounding on the other side of that wall. Kanavi and Cream just going to say thank you for a kill. Force the 5-on-4. NIP under fire once again as PP God gets punted. Shanji's going to try to solo out Jackie Love, but if he doesn't have help like last time, he's not going to be able to do it as successfully. Equalizer over the top. Leave, forced to leave. And the rest of Top Esports are just finishing off the rest of the NIP frontline. And now Leave, he was able to pick up a massive player of the game earlier on this gym, but this time around, he's playing against Top Esports, who are in fine form. The flash forward not going to make magic happen today. Top Esports, a full side ace. They're going to push into the base. And NIP, this is over.
They've accepted their fate.
When you're down this much gold. But I have to say that if you're going to play using a Viego composition, you really want a majority of your team focusing the same target so that you're guaranteeing the reset. But there's like different flanks happening. Shanji's like trying to occupy Jackie Love on one side of the fight. I feel like, I don't know, in a different world before the gold lead ballooned to this massive 11,000 gold, maybe NIP will look back at the VODs and look at the earlier fights and say, hey, we need to really make sure that if we're going to play this Viego composition, we are playing strictly with Aki. But I don't know if that... I mean, I don't need to cast this.
That's gross. That's so gross, man. Difference maker in this playoff series was Jackie Love and Chris going up against the even PP God. They were for sure a difference maker in this one, but also 369 on his rumble just put Shanji into the ground with the rest of the team.
Like, the fact that Call of the Pack gives you bonus AD, you still are hitting like really high damage levels, even with a bruiser build. That's what makes it so obnoxious as PP God gets caught out. Really, I mean, but I can't really fault him. It's a 12,000 gold deficit that NIP have to climb for.
He's got to go for the Hail Marys at this point. As Aki has at least a somewhat creative angle, but we'll see if he waits for PP God to come back or if he pulls the trigger.
This is a Trinity Force Collector Viego. If he can find a squishy target and look for the reset, you know, maybe, just maybe, something might happen. But Top Esports have already destroyed 2 Nexus Towers. Shanji into the back line. There's the flank end. Good night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the attempt was made, but the attempt was quelled, and Top Esports just completely destroyed NIP. Doing a little bit of a rematch of what happened in the first split lower bracket playoffs. The Top Esports clean house, taking down NIP.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, looking at this draft for FPX, I just don't think it's the right game to play Kalista Renata. Look around for it, but there's a control ward in the back of the pit, so they would spot him if he's able to do it. His heal popped, actually, from... awesome. Not gonna get anything though.
Fish here, throwing Shanji into the wall. The needlework doing a nice bit of burst damage. Uh-oh. Looks like Shanji was just overestimating how fast Doinb was gonna come in and underestimating what kind of damage output Sheer had on that Mega Gnar form, and the flash away means it's first blood for FPX.
You know, they did nerf the R. That's like the one thing they kind of nerfed, right?
Almost 15, 20 CS above the Kalista. It's a good start as these grubs. At least Shadow's able to take 1, but they have to forfeit the rest.
Yeah, no way. The bot lane responding to the moves that NIP is making. Their bot lane was top. They kind of did a little bit of cross-country work here, Sum and Jouet. And unfortunately to no avail for them. So, 4 grubs to 1 at the moment, about to be 5 to 1. Definitely going to be a bit of a challenge for FPX to hold on as he did against OMG with those big TPs on the Mega. You see Sheer is kind of tickling the dragon in the setup around here to see if he can pop Mega.
They are collapsing.
That's
and as you
Mega.
called it, Shear's Mega is about to go off now. He has Flash available. Maybe he can get in. And the threat of the Mega is enough that Shadow is able to secure it. Aki tries to go back in for a steal. Has Flash if he needs it, but he pops the pressing guard. Care trying to press the advantage forward. Shanji forced away by Sheer as he scoops him right back into his team. Vault Breaker Flash into the combo. Awesome is going to benefit off a nice kill credit off the top of Shanji's head.
Hey, nice for FPX. They got a kill, but again, it's only one. They were able to pick up the dragon, so that's a perk.
That's definitely the bigger win. 2 dragons to the name. Uh-oh. Shadow doesn't have Flash anymore. He used it for the Vault Breaker combo, and now even with the bailout, still going to go down. NIP, get a consolation prize.
Best path or best chance at success.
Yep. Karen might be in trouble. Has Flash, has Between the Worlds available.
Oh,
Easily
boy.
used. Oh, nice prediction by PP God. Oh, but
Only
the
short.
seismic shove was short, as you called it. Not able to flip Care right back into the team, but Leave in a 1v1 against Awesome. The Ren, not enough. Leave victorious on the Kaisa as we take a leave. Right back to the top side of the map. Doinby on the run away from Sheer
here.
as he's trying to bat him down with the mini form, but Aki goes under the tower, but he's taking turret aggro, and Shadow has the CC to lock him down. Takes him out, and Sheer goes Mega.
And like Aki, yes, he goes under the turret and dies, but he's also feels like he's dead either way on the back half. So in the terrain, so
Yep.
very, very nice.
And Doinby knows that there's someone there, but steps up
Flash.
anyway. The seismic shove is not going to save him today. FBX grateful to get another kill for themselves on the board here. But still, as you've been calling out, not necessarily enough for FPX to feel confident with the lead, as they're still technically overall down gold, but with the destruction of this turret, it is not the first turret taken off the entire rift, as that happened in the mid lane thanks to NIP, but a little bit of an extra gold injection for them as they're trying to maintain competitiveness with NIP in this game. They're going to get the 3rd dragon, and they are going to be on soul point.
Yeah,
so
it's
if
expensive, though.
NIP is not at a all-time, breaking point by the time we get to that dragon, that is FPX's best hope.
That FPX can't fight them in the next Drake.
PP God gets jumped on, but then he turns it around with the quickness.
TP.
However, Joey is flashing forward, and the collapse from Care on the TP between worlds
Well
doesn't
played.
get. Oh,
PP
turn off
God.
the camera. Oh no! PP God dodging the Mega Gnar ultimate, but Doinby not gonna survive this time around. FPX threw a lot of cooldowns to make that happen. Meanwhile, Leave is gonna push in and take a tier 2 off the map.
Actually, this could be big if Aki is able to cancel some bases. Did manage to stop all 3. Because again, the push is on. This is 5 grubs, and NIP can even use this to take some topside camps away. Terrell dropped in top lane. That's dealt
the
with by
Onacon's getting
FPX.
slammed.
Yeah, Best is
I mean,
being slammed. That's a nice
There's
wall.
a ward on it. Oh, good wall from
Oh,
Doinby.
boy.
3,000 HP. Can Shadow get
Look at
in?
the rocks.
2,000 HP is close. Oh! It was spotted early by Aki, and Shadow steals it away. NIP, can they win this fight? But now they have to deal with the Otacon GA, so they have a second chance at life. FPX, they might go down in the fight here, but if they can at least trade any kills, it's a win. Down goes Aki. Doinby flashing forward, trying to see if he can look for more and burn more GAs off the top. FPX losing Jue. Care. I don't think he's getting out of this one. The TP from Doinby tries to throw out the weirding for extra damage. Flash forward from Leave. You know what? He just wants to flex his muscle a little bit there. A little bit of a fumble from NIP. The early smite from Aki, not ideal. And FPX still gonna try to oh, big shutdown from Shadow. Hey, wait a minute, FPX. They're starting to feel alive right now.
Standing turrets they still have on the map is mid-outer looking to fall, and then they have the time now to set up for this Dragon Soul. That's huge for them to get Infernal Soul.
And we talked about...
So, with the chunk, now FPX, they're going to play hard for this. And keep in mind, give Callista Empowered Smite.
Shadow, originally looking for a flank, gets back into the pit. The wall comes out from Doinby. Doesn't really stop FPX from burning down this dragon as they resume aggro. The spears are stacking. Can they get it cleanly? It is secured. Infernal Soul. Here comes Sheer. Throws them all into the arms of Awesome. Shadow buys time into the backline with the cease and desist. And Care is wiping them off. Awesome is undeterred and he is protected. Not even Shanji's Gwen can stop FPX from upsetting NIP. FPX are gifted an Otacon and they don't waste their moment.
Anything like that? Because I don't think that's a scenario that FPX would exactly love. Oh boy, Doinby's pulling the trigger.
I mean, Awesome is on the right side of the wall, looking for a pick. Care goes golden. He's completely separated. Here comes the hustle takeover. Maybe FPX can pull something out. Now it's a 4v5, but NIP
Shanji
looking a lot more confident as they bully their way back into the river. Shanji pressing forward with the needlework. There's the flash from Aki. Good, down goes Shadow. And Sheer is mini. He doesn't have to be big and throw him against the wall. He's the one that's thrown into the ground. NIP just shrug away the fact that they lost the Infernal Soul, and they're still winning the fight, and they're going to take the Baron off the back.
FPX are just way too far deep if they want to actually pull this off. Kara wasn't able to hit the Between Worlds. Instead, he was sent to the gray screen, and that's one tonight.
Yep.
As we dive back in, big thing that jumps out at me on the screen, I know that Baron was just taken by NIP Rafa. Look at that Cosmic Drive in Gwen's inventory for Shanji. They just shredded the last fight. He's gotten even bigger and is even that much more dangerous in this one.
The observers highlighting a ward deep behind enemy lines on NIP's side as they're pushing up through the bottom side of the map.
Kara's
Quickly
TP.
eviscerate the tier 2 turret.
Gonna throw out the wall and see if NIP can get any hits down on a turret that's already at 1/4. And
Yeah.
even with PP God being low, they're just gonna brute force down the inhibitor. We'll see if they decide to stick around and push for another one, or if they head for the hills, get TP God's health back, and then just do the same setup that they just did, except instead of bot mid, top mid will now be the setup. And FPX is, yeah, they're lost. They're responding to the waves, and keep in mind there's a super wave that's hitting the top inner that can't be contested just because Elder's up. And Shanji pops Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, FPX just have to give ground here. Sheer is in mini form. NIP already knowing what kind of strength they can use to brute force FPX out of the space here. Shadow, still no flash, as he used it after Doinb kind of pulled a reverse Uno card when he tried to get the jump on him with that flank. They're in the river. Leave is slowly whittling down this Elder Dragon. The Weaver's Wall from Doinb gonna give them a little bit of extra space. Shadow brute forces his way in with the Vault Breaker. NIP turn away from the dragon, try to posture. FPX have to wait on Sheer's Mega Form, who is racking it up right now, getting the auto attacks on the ward. Hops in, gets stunned up. PP God tries to go in. Sheer throws him back. There's a Night Hostile takeover, but the Elder is secured by Aki, and now FPX just can't do anything about it. Elder Dragon trumps all, and NIP ace FPX. A lighthearted chuckles and smiles and a pop-off from Doinb as he knows that was a hell of a fight. FPX, damn, they try, but NIP are going to take this game in style.
I mean, this really didn't feel like an NIP win until the last 5 minutes. Then NIP, they found Care once. They turned that into 3 kills, turned it into a Baron, and into an inhibitor, and then an Elder fight where they take the Elder and win the game. I don't see how Jason Rise can be moved out of their own lanes, and they get pretty tanky for solo laners later on in this game. And your carry is Misfortune. OMG, Star Ammo, I'm paying respect to the fact that Kanavi could be there, could be sniffing. Oh,
Q flash, punting Moham right into the minion wave, and that means that there's nowhere for Moham to go. He still has a flash, but he's not going to burn it because he knows he's gone. And this just comes down to don't need to kill over to Kanavi, and just like that, Matt, the dogs are out again. Woof, woof. Let's go, Kanavi. First blood on Nefiri.
And do the same. Moham gonna play some defense. Will be spotted. Crisp on the backup.
I mean, he's eviscerating in just to kill the minion wave. He's got Crisp in his back pocket, so he's confident that he doesn't need to retreat. Hung is gonna match. Moham, you don't win this unless Starry can get there super fast. Kanavi pops the W. Still has a flash available. Now he's playing for it. Oh, okay. You know what? Kanavi got a little too fancy with it. Doesn't end up burning the flash, but Starry burns both of his summoner spells to make that happen.
GM would be a little bit surprised if Top Esports actually decided to contest.
Kanavi getting the jump on the Linfeng. Level 4 to level 6 on the Aurora. Linfeng still has not popped the Between the Worlds, just trying to bait Kanavi in. There's the flash, and maybe Kanavi's just getting way too comfortable trying to style on them with Nefiri, but he dodges the Path of Darkness from Hong. Good patience, and somehow Kanavi survives.
Is Hong gonna try and get going on these? Does have Smite for one, but gonna be forced off the others.
Realm Warp is coming in. Cream is gonna collapse, and now Hong.
Okay. That's bad.
Oh boy, you know, OMG. Feeling bold after being able to force out Kanavi, but just not respecting Top Esports' ability to collapse like that.
And Linfeng's in base with no TP, so down a man no matter what. Ambessa also no TP bot. That contest was just not available. So Hunk falls. Other two grubs look to fall to Kanavi. Did save Smite for this one. Hung clean up the last of the grubs. Will be 2-1 count for OMG. But yeah, I mean, again, like as time goes on, this game gets very hard for OMG in their composition and absorb everything, and then just smoke you like when your R's are not up, and if they can survive that, make plays around that, it's great. And speaking of R's, Cream.
The bullet time tries to kill the wave here, but it's a 4-on-2, and not even a flash from Starry is going to save him from certain death. Nicely done by Crisp to lead the charge with the turret dive and just popping the ulti. Top Esports just being able to play the map slightly better, as Kanavi was trying to leash this dragon, but didn't have the first move from Kareem. Linfeng was lurking around. 360 just pushing in that wave.
I mean, again, I don't think things get better here for OMG. As Dragon secured, Mountain Drake, bonus just for Top Esports. Not all going to be that bad, but OMG looking to maybe force here. Nocturne the target.
Yeah, and they know that Hong down a flash, and the rest of OMG's bot lane, as soon as they started clicking back towards the lane,
these waves, and at least just threaten to make plays anywhere else, and you're always going to have Prio with the Varus mid, so...
Oh, clean flash from 369. They're going to bring 4 members, though. Paranoia into the bullet time. I mean, it was a nice flash from 369, but you can't outplay all of those ultimates being thrown your way. But Top Esports could look for a collapse now that multiple abilities and tools have been used. Public execution from Harry at least gets him through the backline, and he's out of there. Moham, not the same. Top Esports being able to at least trade 1 for 1. They have position over the grubs. They're chasing for more.
Yeah, but it's funny. Moham, he ulted the Fury, who just went untargetable. And now another dive. Crisp.
Into the wall. Crisp is taking the turret. Might go down to the last turret shot, but here comes the recess from Kanavi with the Hound's pursuit. Woo! Man, the barking from Kanavi this game has been pretty much on fire.
Does not even matter. It's just Top Esports able to win. This game... I really felt like in draft this game was very top favored, and it's just like, how do you break as OMG? How do you break these solo lanes? And also, where have these Nocturne ults been, man? Like we rushed Hexplate
between the 2 towers there.
Yep.
As now OMG just gonna try to hope and pray that they can at least trade objectives while they're down 4,000 gold.
A bright side is that grubs were split, so able to actually trade if you want. I'd say this is very much a win for OMG. Like, if you even want to think about fighting either objective, you need the bullet time. You need the depth charge. The fact that Jaculov on the poke Varus burns his flash to absorb those 2 abilities is so worth it for him. Like, what play does OMG have available to them now, even for the Dragon? This could be Top Esports' favorite, too. Like, while these cooldowns are down. I think that's just a really poor play from Moham and Starry. You need to find something that works, okay? The flash is out, though. That's deep.
I mean, they knew the Varus had no flash, but there's not enough damage to really supplement that paranoia, and you can just tell this is desperation hour from OMG, and they are getting punished for it as Kanavi just runs them down. My goodness. Always going to be on the menu if it's open for Kanavi.
Yeah, I mean, Kanavi does look like he has practiced this. He has a good understanding of it. I don't think Neferi is the most complicated champ in the world to play, but he's using his untargetable pretty well, and able to get over these walls and positioning his hops, I think, in a really nice way. As Top Esports, I mean, honestly, it has to be somewhat fulfilling for them to...
If you're not getting first seed, then the alarms start setting in and the concerns start ringing in the fans of Top Esports. I think something like the international performance that was shown by Top Esports left a bitter taste in LPL fans' mouths. Yeah. But OMG going down 0-3 in this group really puts a dampener as OMG going to try again to look for an advantageous pick, but the call of the pack on the untargetability, not an... the Realm Warp gets Kanavi out. The bleed from the Darkened Daggers finishes off Hong. It's a heist from the side of Top Esports and just rubs salt in the wound of OMG.
I mean, not just a heist, but shout out to Cream, man, for sheltering multiple puppies into safety. And now he's going to have to see if he can get himself into safety. Kanavi can help, maybe.
Has flash.
Oh,
gets
he's
over
going.
the wall. Kanavi re-engages. Call the pack. Oh my god, what is this champion? Bark on the baby. He's howling, and he's putting OMG down in the pound. Top Esports getting run down by a pack of dogs.
Good for Kanavi. I'm happy for him. What is on my screen? This is disgusting. Like what he's able to do. These
Dude,
point and click,
awesome.
on demand,
awesome.
untargetable. It's
so
filthy.
awesome. It's
Absolutely
yes.
filthy. Oh, what's that a Fury champ do? What the heck is that? Right? That's my translation of that moment.
Good night.
Please enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Bullet time is gonna kill the wave for a bit. Immediately force the flash away.
Dear
Good
Lord.
snipe from downtown. Jackie Love. We're at a 12,000 gold advantage. You know, Top Esports gave this beat down towards NIP just a couple games ago, and now Top Esports are extending the favor over to OMG. Times Top Esports are going to get this champion again until people start respecting it. As Starry, you know what? Kanavi is limit testing now. We're going to see how much damage he can get out. Call the pack for the untargetability. Okay, you know what? Kanavi, limit tested and limit found. He was level 14 at the time of that engage. He was 2 levels above pretty much every other champion on that board. He had the Serpent's Fang acquired as well. 369 should be fine. Should be fine. Actually, he's getting collapsed upon by 4 people.
Okay, Moham's
so he might die, but he at least trades one back onto Moham. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is taking Otacon on the other side of the map. Top Esports, you know, just checking in, saying, hey guys, I got 4 over here. That's a free objective. As you called out, the dragon should be next on the menu there. And OMG are just playing for whatever scraps Top Esports charitably will give them at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be much. As big game from Kanavi. Yet again on this Nefuri pick. You can do this. Yeah.
I mean, just look at the mobility. The fact that you have so much ability haste. You can spam your E's, and Moham is dead to rights. Bullet time gets, unfortunately, not that much done.
Crisp.
And nice engage from Crisp, baby. Pulverized flash, that sets it all up. Kanavi's diving deep into the backline once again. There's the reset, and Harry, I should say, tries to buy time, and it just does not matter. Top Esports, they're up 12,000, 13,000 gold for the past 5-10 minutes of the game. It's been over for a while, and Kanavi, if you didn't believe it in the first game, you better believe it in the second game. This Nefiri champion is here to stay, and Kanavi's already showing his prowess on it. Top Esports moves to the top of the table with 3 wins.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.